So we're going to quickly cover the Zebralette instrument by Yuhi. This is the free version of the Zebra. The Zebra, in fact the Zebra 2 now, is the instrument that many famous sound designers use for world-class projects, and it's also just a great way to get some gnarly electronic music sounds, taking advantage of the wavetable customization functions that are available inside of the Zebra or Zebralette. I was amazed to realize that the free version of Zebra has this geomorph, spectromorph option, because this is a really advanced way to customize your spectrum and what kind of a signal you're actually generating with your instrument. So before I get into actually making any sounds, I'm just going to grab an oscilloscope so we can see the wave that we're making, and then I'm going to grab the spectrum, and this will just be a way to visualize the audio spectrum. So all of this content that we're covering today is straight out of the sound design program at Slam Academy, which is of course an Ableton certified training center, but we don't focus strictly on Ableton. We use everything that's cool. So I'm actually going to turn my buffer up real quick because I'm hearing my voice glitch out. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's driving me nuts. Here we go.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers. Okay. See if that keeps happening. It's still happening, isn't it? Shouldn't be too bad. So, in fact, one thing I know that I can do is I can disengage my Max for Live devices over here, maybe chill them out. That would save me a little bit of dynamic calculation energy. Okay, so here we go. Check out my instrument. Right now, I just have a single waveform. It's like a saw wave. I can choose here, or I can move my wave warp knob. And since this is a wavetable, unlike a normal synthesizer, and this is true for all wavetable instruments, you choose a wavetable, it's actually a collection of waveforms. So unlike a subtractive synth where you choose the saw wave or the square wave, in this case you grab a table of 16 different waveforms and then you morph them. This is a dynamically calculated morph, so instead of like an audio mix where you're adjusting volume, you're really algorithmically morphing between these waves. So to demonstrate that, I'll just watch my oscilloscope and hit a key. Now we can't quite hear that yet, but you can see my square wave down there, I'm into my saw wave, and I can essentially just draw my wave shape as it's making sound. It's unmuted here. So that's pretty cool, but nothing too crazy. How the waveforms are being interpolated is dependent on this mode. This is really, really interesting. There's two different modes here. There's geometry mode and spectrum mode. They both offer a morph or blend combination algorithm. But if you're just looking at geo versus spectro, what we're choosing is, what am I looking at here? If I choose geo, I'm looking at the geometry of the wave, meaning that this is a saw wave, and this is like a triangle wave, and this is a square wave. That's the geometry of the waveform. If I choose spectrum, this is now the spectrum, like the frequency spectrum, as in like this is a lot of bass, and this is just a tiny, tiny bit of super low end, and this is no bass and a bunch of mids. So this is kind of a crazy way to change the way you're looking at a wave and be able to morph it still. Now it's like a filter. What? That's tight, especially when you modulate it. Like, this is something I tell my students who are learning FM synthesis and wavetable synthesis and granular synthesis and even physical modeling synthesis. Anything that's not subtractive. Don't use the low-pass filter. It's just a one-trick pony. I mean, it's amazing if you're making like big low bass sounds and Moog bass sounds, but if you're really trying to get the most out of your wavetable instrument, don't just slap a filter on there. You're selling yourself short. So let's grab a modulator. Maybe go to like LFO1, and now I can just turn this up, and now I'm modulating the wave warp. But again, we're just in spectrum mode. Here's geometry modulation. It's way more interesting. Right, that's just already pretty badass, and it's just one oscillator, right? Yes. So let's turn off that modulation now and check out our other modes, because I haven't even shown you the really exciting part yet. So you can adjust the geometry or the spectral contour of the wave, and you can either morph it or blend it. Morphing it algorithmically interpolates between the waves. whereas blending it is a little more like an audio mix. I can blend the geometry of a square wave with the triangle wave, with maybe a sine wave. And now when I adjust the wave warp knob, this guy, I'm actually, you can see the mix happening. See how I'm mixing the different waveforms? The neat thing about this morph, or this blend mode versus the morph mode is this. You can spectrally blend it, and this is a really distinct function. This allows you to actually add partials, like an additive synthesizer does, or you can take some partials out of phase. This is insane. So check it out. If I put this on wave 1, and I have this flat, we're not going to hear anything. I'm holding a note. Now here's my waveform. Watch this. It's an additive synthesizer. Each of these is a partial. I'm going to go lower in my keyboard. So what's cool about this is I'm adding partials, or I'm taking other partials out of phase. Let me turn this up a little bit so we can hear it better. So now watch. Now if I morph this, so this gives me the ability to paint the spectrum like an additive synthesizer and then blend it with other spectral ideas. So watch this. Here's where this all gets tied together. I just made a waveform. I kind of like it, but I can only hear it when this knob is way down. I'll hear these are all empty. There's nothing going on. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here and maybe make another shape. It's a little messy. I like that these partials, I like clicking these. Make it lose a little more complex of a sound. Now watch. If I hold Command and I click on the next table that I want to interpolate to and click on it, it draws interpolation maps and creates a waveform for each of the 16 tables that is well, it just creates a 16-step interpolation that you can blend or morph. So look here, let's do geometry morph. Here's our first wave. I can add nodes. I'll just make a cool waveform here. I'm just going to have some fun. This to me is way cooler than most other wavetable synthesizers that younger people are using, because this I can actually design my waveforms. Watch, Command, Morph. Now I just designed my own custom wave morph. Dude, yeah. So I can modulate this too. So this is just still kind of robot vomit, but the idea is that you're getting the idea, or you're getting the message here with a big limitation I find with other wavetable synthesizers that will go unnamed, is that you choose a wavetable like Throat or whatever, and it just gives you these tables and you can't really change what they do. In this case now I can customize how they actually behave, what the wave morph knob is actually going to do, and I can actually, inside of Zebra, but not inside of Zebra, oh, you can do it inside of Zebralette too. I can create my own user wavetables. Nice. So I could save this table and I could add it to this list and have my own variety of cool timbres that I've customized. Now inside of Zebralette, once I get it all dialed in the way I like it, I can adjust the phase and the tuning up here with some global settings. I can also apply effects. Get a chorus and a chorus. Urs Heckman. The guy who designs these instruments, he's very creative, very smart. So look at this. I got my preset directory down here too, and this is all for free. Pretty tight. So yeah, that's the Zebralette. So if you look outwards to the not free versions, you'll see that same exact function. If I load my custom little initialize patch that I recommend everyone makes whenever they're learning a synth, I can click on Oscillator 1, and now I can customize its table. But look at down here. I not only get the same modes, but I get extra controls like key scaling for the wave shaping, normalizing in case something's too quiet or loud. I also can now still access that same preset library. Zebra 2, though, here can have 4 of these guys. They can all do FM from any other input as the modulator. And once you're in here, you have combing filters, distortion, wave shaping, ring modulation, cross-mod filters, which are audio rate modulation filters. They're amazing, and so on. In addition to all these things, I'm just going to actually mute these other bogus channels. We're still working with one. I get a really cool thing. I get algorithmic oscillator effects. These are algorithmic distortion models. They might fractalize the wave, or they might add combing or transposition. But these are dynamically calculated mathematical functions. In other words, algorithms that are applied in real time to the waveform. And you can, of course, modulate their depth and everything. So let's try one. That's just one. And I don't even know what these do. I'm just grabbing one. And the modulator will stay alive as I change through different models. I mean, imagine if I actually if I attenuated that tone at all. Like I was thinking I could use this like the low pass filter. Or maybe if we put it down into, instead of geomorph mode, let's go spectromorph. You could even try a different modulator for this wavetable. I might try the multi-segment envelope generator. I can switch to that right here. And now essentially I have a little sequencer. I can program sequences for this now. Yep, pretty amazing. I get all these custom cool quantization functions. I can command click to add new steps. Look at this. And I can even loop it, change the loop speed. Let's play around with this. So I might just do this and add another wave. Let's add oscillator 4. So look, now I click on 4, check this guy out. Oh man, look at this. Whoa. Hear it? Oops, wrong one. I'm going to pitch this one down. Let's mix them together. This is life, real life. Slam Academy. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'd customize my envelope. It's kind of chirpy up here and annoying, but whatever. There. Oh, dude, that envelope generator is going crazy too. But as you can see, this is a world of excitement waiting for you, all just at the tip of your fingers. Once you find things that are cool, you guys, let's put wave on X1, and then we'll put scrambler on Y1. Look at this. Yeah, so since it's bipolar, this is no scrambler. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, this is the UHE stuff. It's pretty amazing. I really like it. With this kind of a patch, I'd probably check out my polyphony and put it into monophonic just so it doesn't get too thick. I'd maybe even try turning on some FM. Let's do FM, but let's use our custom wavetable as the modulator instead of that bells sounding Oscillator 3. Let's bring. Let's try it out. It'll just be a saw wave or a sine wave until I turn up FM amount right here. So we're using that custom wavetable that we designed over here on Oscillator 1. Oh, we didn't really customize it that much though. Oh yeah, because this is our geometry wave. But as you can see, this is just a modular platform that you can insert anything and receive it from anywhere. Look at this now. God, it's so much fun. So I'm a big fan. So with that, I give you the UHE Zebra. How'd I do? Good?
Yeah, very good. Very, very
Good.
awesome.
That's a fun little synthesizer. If you want to learn more about synthesizers like that, you should check out www.slamacademy.com if you're not already a student with us. If you are, then I'll see you in class. Of course, I'm loving teaching at other places too, and so while my tenure expires at those other places in the near future, I will enjoy those moments too. So does anyone have any questions? We got 3 minutes.
I actually had a question. This is kind of about next week.
Okay, in 2 weeks, every other week.
Oh, so yeah, 2 weeks.
T for times. Ethan, submit your topic suggestions to info@slamacademy.com.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Did anyone have any questions about the UHE Zebra or Zebralette? Or anyone having a hard time finding the download or figuring out how to install it into your Ableton Live DAW of your choice? Everyone get that?
I downloaded it with Chrome, and it said it blocked it because it might have been harmful to my browser, but I think it's somewhere in my computer, hopefully.
I think if you just hit like OK or bypass that, or maybe in your preferences, you can tell it to allow downloads from uhe.com. Otherwise, if you can't find it, just email me and I will slide it to you on the sideways mode, like via email. I don't think it's too big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. So I know, let's see, I believe we have a couple of UHE users in the room. David Wiesjohn, are you using Zebra? David, I see your face. Oh, you're frozen up. David's computer froze up. He's all handsome and stoic looking. What else? I'm like, wow, you are thinking so hard right now. Anyone else have a UHE-related thought or question? Is anyone out there like, wow, I'm never going to use Massive again? No? I mean, it's pretty cool. They're both great instruments. So, yeah, that's my deal. Sound design. It's fun. There's Leon. How's it going, Leon?
Hi, guys. Sorry,
Good.
I didn't
Hi.
realize I was stealth mode, but...
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I think by default, you know, this go-to thing takes a little getting used to, but you got to share your screen and whatever. I think you guys get a different interface, right? Because you're on the web, you're a participant.
Yep.
I haven't ever actually experienced the participant side of things. Is it fairly easy to use?
Yeah, I think it's pretty intuitive, absolutely. It's got a nice toolbar on the right-hand side that's, you know, just kind of like a nice sidebar, and you can toggle between participants and chat windows and toggle your mic and camera. I think it's great.
Cool. And ScreenFlow worked okay? I mean, screen share, you could see my screen and all that?
Yeah, I think what's kind of cool about it is it puts the screen share below all of the video windows of each participant who's sharing their camera. Maybe one drawback of it is it makes the screen a little smaller, but I don't know if there's any way for us to zoom that or not. I don't think so. So Wow.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Bye bye.